on the line for this third place match, but more so than that, the pride of the Philippines and Indonesia, expectation versus reality. Let's kick off our finals day here for MSC and send it over to our casters, Naisu and Leo.
After many matches and almost 2 weeks that lead us to this point, it's a third place match, a battle of pride, but also a whopping $100,000 between third and fourth place finishes here. We'll find out who gets the victory. It's me, Naisu, Leo, bringing this best of 5. And later on, the grand final is going to be amazing too. But this one is a rematch, Leo, all the way back from M5.
That was almost 3 years ago where they took it all the way to 7 games. Here tonight, they might be able to take it all the way to 5 games. We're expecting a slobber knocker between these former champions of their respective regions. Flap here gets caught out, flickering through. Haji with a flare looking for the choke down. Lifts up Keyboy and puts him down just as quickly. Kyle with the steal. Oh my lord, a minute in. Attempted Grand Theft Purple. Can Kyrie stop him? Oh, he does.
He got it. All right, Kyrie secured it. Kyle's going to be able to get away here. It was interesting, too, in the draft because if I remember correctly, yesterday, it was multiple times. Oh, hold on. All right, flicker burned. B-Boy should be, yeah, he's fine. He's on the Marcel. He's got enough mobility, but they went with this first pick, Marcel, who's kind of slipped through some of the drafts. He's been either banned out or teams have gone and picked him up. But it was ONIC that picked up the Herrera multiple times throughout yesterday's
Whoa. Speaking of the Herrera, Kyle here put down to a quarter of his health. Ogwin stopping the backup from coming through. It's not just ONIC who has this identity that they're forcing through from yesterday's bouts. Even Falcons, you see them play the Esmeralda once again, the glue in Ogwin's hands that, 2 games in a row dismantled Yangon Galacticos' Yangon Yam, or the Burmese Ube. And then they still have Haji on the very high prio Zushin, who in the hands of Kaiser yesterday was the finisher. He was the MVP for sure of game number 5. We see here Haji in trouble. Crimson flare back, and that's one major tool out for this turtle.
Yeah. They want to fight for this first objective here. Some tools already used. Sans has his own beacon that he can play into. So they've got control around this turtle. I'm not sure if Falcons really wants to do too much. Kyle's trying to get his purple buff, but they may be forced into a fight here.
Oh, Kyle secures his own purple. But then again, the retribution was short. Kyrie secures. Now Ogun flickers back. No harm, no foul. No casualties just yet, but ONIC gets the big one.
Yeah, they get the objective. Looks like taking a little break here before this. Again, no first blood given just yet. And this is kind of the nature, man, of the compositions that we've seen, throughout MSC. It's like this push and pull factor. And a lot of that has been because of where the jungle meta is and it's fallen into. I mean, we heard Kyle share some of his thoughts leading into this matchup, exactly how he feels about the jungle meta.
I'd say that's partially true, but half of that truth, to make a better picture, is it's just these 2 teams.
Yeah.
It's rare that you see a full-on Titans of Southeast Asia clash in MSC. Look back at the last 2 weeks, Joseph. Look back at the last 2 weeks.
I'm looking back.
You see Yangon Galacticos with their own little flavor, Team Spirit
with their own,
with the the Dragon Davai play style, and then you have the likes of Vamos and Pro who are just oh so aggressive. This is the first time we're seeing 2 full-on, I'd say it's safe to say now, macro-centric lineups clash.
Yeah.
So that's why we're seeing such a surgical first 2 minutes.
I mean, again, they came into this matchup in high spirits. Got to see some of the antics on stage as they both came out, of course, but one thing's for sure, in the game, in this best of 5, they're going to lay it on the line here. They're going to give it their all. We already talked about how it's that pride factor, but also the difference in terms of money. I mean, $100,000, man. In Philippine pesos, I think that's around 6 million pesos. In IDR,
don't even get me started.
I think like almost 2 billion, something like that. It's like almost 2 billion.
It's life-changing money.
It's life-changing money, even at this point.
And the fact that they can keep the brevity, harken back to their brotherhood, harken back to how far they've come and how many times they played with each other. They decide to dance in their entrance. Like, that's just the kind of athletes and just young men they are, how much they love MLBB, while still acknowledging the stakes.
Yeah. I mean, they did mention that, again, off of the land of Dawn, they're the best of friends, right? It's always sometimes. I would say, looking at yesterday's interviews, that's one thing why I love, when we get a chance to see Kid Bomba, for example, talk, the way he speaks and the way he kind of, even his messages to the opponents, You know, a little bit more than the good luck, have fun, you know, that we see. But of course, when it comes down to the in-game, that's where you really see it kind of come to fruition here between both these teams. And as we wait a little bit longer to jump into this one, you know, that first game really kind of sets the pace of the entire series. But also, if you look at what, you know, for example, Falcons had to go through yesterday. You know, this sometimes in some cases a reverse sweep where it's you're down 0-2 and you got to come back to it. So it looks like we are back into the game. Let's go to jump back into this one. We're just under 3 minutes into this one, this first match again in this best of 5.
A minute and a half till Turtle spawns lower quarter. Not much of a distance. Flap and Lutpi have to go through. And if I'm reading the map correctly, I think Kyle might try to go ahead and play their side of the map a little more, since that first attempt at Grant the Purple kind of cost them.
Yeah, it didn't happen, right? But I feel like, too, when you just have the Harara, you're kind of allowed to do that. You just got so many ways to move across the map and kind of avoid things, you know? It's like you're kind of self-reliant in yourself, although the most successful Harara gameplays that we've seen is because of your team being able to support that, right? So there's this kind of case where Harley probably does that. Oh, Flap. Okay, he's burning the flicker. So he's got that, but Harley essentially does the same thing. You know, you're pretty self-sufficient to be able to move around the map. You don't have to rely too much on your team until, you know, obviously you get to that mid or late game.
Yep, they have their stats skewed to one side slightly more on a spectrum of junglers between mobility and, you know, single-handed burst damage. Hajin when holding down the fort, stopping the rest of ONIC from actually crossing over. So both teams respecting their boundaries, their jurisdiction when it comes to stealing away and taking out resources from the other. About 20 seconds until the turtle spawns, lower quarter. This is as safe as it gets. Again, not more than a 500 gold swing either way.
Yeah, Leo, this is about as safe as it gets. It's like you're playing, there's your side of the map, here's the line. We're drawing it, we're going to stay on this side, you guys stay on that side. I mean, imagine, you know, 4.5 minutes in, no kills, no first bloods. Just that turtle is what they're fighting for. This one definitely looks like it's going to be resulting into at least this 4v4 as both gold laners still up on that top side of the map. Fighting for the second turtle. Lutpi's going to jump in here.
Uh-oh, Keyboy running through. Haji bursted down, forced the Crimson Flare back, and Suns helped Kyrie score the kill via the deadly magics. Now Lutpi jumping up. Ogwin finds them out. In comes Kelra. Warning shots. Finds another kill on Ogwin after a golden hour. Revitalize, making sure that the rest of ONIC are topped up, and in comes Lutpi. Finding a couple more. Down goes Kyle, down goes Flap, and that's all she wrote. Unless Marco wants more flying clouds. In come Haji. Looking for that choke up. Sans will be able to save himself. In comes Keyboy. The jump back at the flicker will not save Marco. Wanton mayhem on Falcon's side of the map, resulting in 6 free kills plus the turtle for ONIC.
They just got a whole lot, man. We were just talking about how nothing had happened in those first, you know, few minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden, boom. Look at this, 3,000 lead, you got 6 kills plus a turtle.
Joseph, a whole lot is an understatement. That was a metric ton of advantage that ONIC have scored in that minute-long sequence. Again, one more look. Maybe the fact that they got the mount was the sign of, okay, maybe we should try.
Yeah, I mean, again, even fighting in between the two turrets here, I thought Falcons would be a little safe.
That should have been. Yeah, that should have been, but no. The fact that there was a revitalize, and sure, despite the crowd control being sound for Falcons to an extent, it was still ONIC who was declaring and dictating where the fight happens. So now they're up 3,000 gold. Kelra can move around where he wants, and all right, say what you will about the Hirara and the Esmeralda kind of going where they want to. Uh-oh. They find Kyle once more, and there's no way Kyle survives this. Lutpi scores, and another mount. This should be a clear sign. The first time around, it did not work out.
Yeah.
Falcons should back off.
And I mean, even on this, golden hour used.
Uh-oh. Ogwin just chopped down to a little stomp as they force Patrick Star to take a dirt nap. Lutpi gets knocked up, but again, there's no damage between Flap and Haji here. Falcons once again lose 2 for free.
I mean, what do you do, you know? Oh, Kyrie, oh, he stops him.
He does, but the damage is real. Kyrie finds another. But there is a trade-off. Down goes Sans in mid. Haji traded out for Keyboy. What is he rocking? These enhanced basic attacks on the Marcel are doing work.
What is going on here for Falcons? I feel like across the map, it feels like ONIC is everywhere. And at this point, that's what they can do, man. Just continue to build this lead of 5,000 up ahead. The next turtle, last one, is coming up here. But look at this, Kyle. No breathing room.
That's it. We've seen Hirara survive a Deadly Magix through a sequence of spell vamps and iframes, but not like that. Not in a moment of, I don't know, savage vulnerability, because that's what it feels like, Joseph. About 2 to 3 minutes worth of that gung-ho intent that they had against Yangon Galacticos last night.
This feels like ONIC time, like in game 1. I mean,
for sure.
You know, this is going to be the next turtle that they get 3 for 3 there. You saw the difference for gold in the gold lane, man. 2,000, I think it was, for Kelra. I'm wondering, too, if he already had the Sky Piercer. I'm not sure if we saw that. If we can take a look at the items here to see where the gold lane is falling in.
Yes,
so he's got the Sky Piercer. I'm not sure exactly when he picked it up, though.
Minimum 2 stacks.
Minimum 2 stacks. Malefic Roar already. I mean, think about it, man. You got a Malefic Roar, Hunter Strike, and Sky Piercer already at that 8-minute mark. That's why, you know, all they have to do is lay down Keyboy's golden hour. Here's some Rhapsody shots. There's the stacks. He got 4 stacks.
There you go. I counted minimum, so I'm like, all right, apparently he built it before the whole shebang went down.
Hey, man, if you could just line up Rhapsody shots and then guarantee them to hit after the golden hour is done, like, what else can you do, you know?
Looking for more. They burst down Flap, force him to back off. Flicker spent. Again, better Flickerless than dead. They will lose this tier 2, though, before the 9-minute mark. So already, I think that ship has flown. That boat has sailed. They can no longer play it clean and safe. Golden hour. Putting Owen right where they want him. Another stack for Dwayne.
That's got to feel bad. And look, there's more. It's for Marco.
Oh! The KK connection is online, baby. They're up almost 9,000 gold.
Oh, Daniel, I hate to say it, man, but this might be one of the cases where Falcons just go next, you know? It just does not seem right. I don't know if it was the fact they're on Flying Clouds and they just haven't won a Flying Cloud map, but this might end.
I mean, they have a wave coming through. Falcons can clear, and I'm glad to say go next might not be the next thing in the to-do list, because I think Falcons can still clean up, all right? Falcons can still kind of tighten up the belt and say we'll play cleaner, but it's going to take so much. It's going to have to involve ONIC saying maybe we stop.
I'm worried, you know. Change the belt, change the cowboy hat, because right now, Super Marco, yeah, he's got to get a new horse. You know, because right now he just showed up to this rodeo without one, and that's unfortunate. He's 0-3. He's so far behind Kelra. And so what do? You know, this Lord is just going to easily go over to ONIC. They've ballooned up the lead to 10,000 plus up to this point. They already took out the top base turret. Oh, look at this, the damage.
Even underneath tier 3, they take 2 for free. Kelra is close to maxing out, man. He's 1 away, building that BOD. They pop the Holy Shield.
Oh, no,
and even Marco, so close to the base, gets taken down.
That's not very yeehaw.
Not at all, partner.
Oh, man, it looks like it could end here. Leo, Flap, and Kyle still alive. They got a wave pushing in bot every single lane. Lord is just now spawning. Is ONIC looking to end?
Kyle, of course, use the iframe early. Couple of dashes back. Loot P in the heat of it. Flap eats a face full of Deadly Magics. Down goes Ogwin. Next up is the base. ONIC one more. Kelra max out on stacks. Gets another just for good measure. ONIC take game 1.
ONIC will just pad the stats in game 1. That's exactly what they were doing there at the end. They knew they had it in the bag. A dominant win in this game 1 against Falcons, man.
No need to control it. We'll just all stay in a crowd, ONIC say, as they try to go back-to-back with wins. Can they take a 2-0 lead over Team Falcons PH? Naisu, Leo, what do you think about these drafts?
I like them, man. You know, good drafting here for both sides. It makes sense here, and I think for Falcons, after essentially that first game stop that ONIC had, this is what you want to go ahead and, you know, bring in some of your best heroes, make it work. Kyle got his Fanny. But again, this is also ONIC. They remember when they brought up the Fanny, Leo, and so they know the game plan to play against a Fanny here.
And that's what I like the most, is both teams came in with answers. There are less questions than there are solutions. So I'd like to see Falcons equalize here, 1-1.
Yeah.
Because game 1, I think 95% of the community will say that was no game.
Yeah, like in their minds, they want this to be game 1, basically. But Nonetheless, ONIC, if they do happen to go ahead and secure this game, they'll be at that match point. And again, we've already talked about what's on the line here now for Falcons, specifically, playing into this one. Putting something like the Claude on Marco is way better, I feel like, than having that Clint, just because, again, you can be a little more self-reliant. He's got a Purify to work with. This was the hero, again, that, this bulletproof Marco moniker started on, and just the fact that he's really hard to kill on it. So some of that alleviated by the fact that you complemented it well with a Jushin, who could help control some of these team fights, around this beacon and that lantern flare. Flap, usually pretty dominant on the Esmeralda. I mean, the XP lane is going to be, nothing's fancy is going to happen against Uranus and Esmeralda. It's more of what happens into the first objective fight, which is just seconds away here.
It's interesting that both sides actually commit a few rotations to bottom. I think they knew that both of those gold laners needed a little bit of help unlocking themselves to try and make for quick rotations. Lutpi, man-to-man defense here on the Flap, trying to get a bit of damage before Flap actually hits level 4. The Prior actually does that first. Keyboy looking for a quick frigid breath to stop Flap from pushing in. Quick knock up on that Lantern. Keyboy down to an 1/8 of its health. He does survive. Jump in, falling Star Moon answered by Internal Guard. Extra bodies for ONIC does help reset the turtle.
Kelra comes through. Rest of the fight, they already got the beacon out. A whole lot expended for this first turtle.
Another big knock-up. Put that Eternal Guard Witch, why not? Kelra punching Haji in, forcing him to go back. Suns with a little bit of burst damage from that Vex. Takes down the turtle. Lutpi threatening away Kyle's purple, but I guess that was Falcon's priority to begin with.
Oh, look at this threat too. Kelra enough just to plant himself right here. The full champ stance here in front of Kyle, but again, he wants to go ahead and secure his golem. Keyboy and Sans are just here too.
Whoa! Oh! Massive Fatal Links catching Kyle, serving him up face to fist on Kelra, but Haji trades it out for him. 1 for 1. All in an effort to secure the golem. Joseph, I don't think that was worth it.
You know what? I think at this point, Kelra, he's happy to take it. It slows down the Fanny buildup, I guess.
Oh no, another EG. In comes Kyle. He wants to go. He gain. But there's 3 of them there. Make that 4 if you're counting the EG. What this does allow for Falcons to do, though, is put a lot of bank on Marco. Marco spent the past minute just taking waves. Unfortunately, he did not get the chip away at the shield. So I guess he's just half happy with the outcome on that.
Yeah. So it looks like at least Kyle's going to be able to get his orange buff. I didn't know if ONIC would continue to put pressure there. A couple punches here from Kelra. Keyboy's here around the corner. Okay, nothing's going to happen after this. Again, good responses here on both sides, but alleviating some of the pressure. Nothing built up on either side off of that, but it's mainly that kind of nature, right? When you have a fan, you got to go ahead and help secure that jungle, and that's why ONIC knows. Let's put pressure even on the green camps, the small camps if we can. Kind of slow that down a bit. And you can see there was a small lead now in terms of XP being built up by Kyrie.
And Kyrie slowly rotating, holding that fence brush. Will not force it, will not push his luck and try to steal away the purple. Kyle will get it, so this will allow them to at least go 50-50 on this turtle spawning lower quarter.
All right, Kelra in position 2. Fighting for that. Whoa, Kyrie gonna get forced off his green camp.
Oh! That wall was the bane of Falcon's existence. Tower shot coming through. Cyclone Eye to get the safety. Oh man, Kyle is not in any shape to take the turtle. Gets taken down by Lutpi off of an Ionic Edge. It's all ONIC. The Sky Kings are taking their second turtle as they apply more pressure on Falcon's jungle.
I thought it was going to be the perfect escape, man. The cables going through the walls, getting a little speed boost, but then Lutpi comes through with the flicker to take him out. So now ONIC looking to build up more. Used.
Oh, Ogwin used that Wrath the Dryad defensively to stop him from pushing forward. Are we back to square one? Is this the game 1 situation all over again? ONIC playing on ONIC time.
Yeah, feels like it. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this turret too, it looks like. Oh, hold on, they want to attempt.
Falling Star Moon, Flap, put down about 0. Just like that. ONIC are 2,000 gold up, given that was 4 members of ONIC underneath tier 1.
Yeah. It's not as devastating as game 1's turtle take that, where we had that one team fight and ONIC pretty much took everything.
6-0.
6-0, but Falcons still okay. This lead is building up. They got to look for something to slow this down, though. That's the big problem. I mean, look at this. Keyboy's waiting position 2. Lutpi enough to zone out.
Oh my God, Haji. had a couple of major members of ONIC behind him. And now Ogwin tries again. Comes in with a, rather the Dryad. Kyle does not have enough energy to start running roughshod in that small little avenue near the purple. This is tough because ONIC are now up 3,000, push tier 1 in mid and bot, so the map is shrinking.
The crazy thing about it is ONIC's not really doing anything too fancy. It's just they're kind of putting pressure where they need to on the camps here of Kyle, but you know, because that's the thing. If you put enough pressure, you know that Falcons has to respond to allow Kyle to get this kind of farm or even his purple buff health, and ONIC can just continue to press down on the wound here.
Uh-oh. Get a quick knockup, but answer with a fatal link. Super Marco couldn't make that blazing duet last more than 2 seconds. Ogwin underneath 3. Make that 4. AJ coming in, knocking up the big tree, chopping him down. Lootby scores another. But they find a punish on Suns. Can Kyrie finish what he started? And Kyle falls. He might find a shutdown on a Kyrie here. Kyrie gets away.
Oh man, the mobility again with the Hirara on the showcase here. Just when you think, you know, sliver of HP left, we're going to at least take something down. At least Kyrie, but he gets away. Let's look at the replay here. Brought to us by STC again. The Eternal Guard in this fight. Enough crowd control to keep Ogwin in place. Obviously, Kyle comes and gets a kill, but at the cost of his own life too. So, you know, again, it's just ONIC playing to the advantage. And now we're going to see that continuing happen here on this side of the jungle. And they've already got this lead built up, 5,000.
Oh no, ONIC knows.
Oh no!
They force Kyle a retry as he goes for his purple. They take him down, and they are gonna continue to march through. They steal away his buff, kill him, go for the turtle, and then pressure mid continuously.
Man, I don't know. ONIC's lineup is just like having, they just got bouncers, man. They got the Uranus, they got the you got to count the Eternal Guard from the Vexana, and then you got Keyboy and the Atlas. Like, these are 3 tanky dudes just giving so much space to ONIC to work with.
Technically 4, because with perfect match, that's another body you have to worry about.
True.
Team Falcons are getting smothered here. It's literally just dude advantage.
Yeah.
There's literally more pieces that ONIC are bringing in, and 8 minutes in, almost 8,000 up. The math does not side with Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, you can see this. I mean, Lootby, of all people on this Uranus, just go ahead, face off against 4 members of Falcons. Doesn't really matter. You know, he's not going to get shredded down at this point, unless somehow Falcons can catch up to this. But just like we saw in Game 1, being down, you know, 8,000 gold leading in to eventually this First Lord, you almost expect ONIC just to secure that and start approaching these base turrets as they now take down all Tier 2 turrets of Falcons.
And I would not doubt in this next wave, they're able to actually pop that holy shield. Ogwin falls once again. Kyle secures his Malefic Roar, so there should be some. Oh, Flap gets knocked out by Kelra underneath that inhibitor.
I don't know if there's any hope here, Leo. It looks grim. 2 of your tankier heroes being taken down in the lineup here against ONIC. Kyle's got no choice. Oh, Kyrie jumping in. Gets the beacon out too. They might just take a base turret now.
All right, the siege minion will fall. They will have to wait. Kelra sitting at 3-1 and 2. Sure, look at Kyrie 404, but Kelra since minute 1 has been the forward assault. He's been basically the bouncer that can't wait to get some quick knock-up on a Lootby, but it's enough time to buy that takedown on mid. This is the best position for Falcons to be in, but Flop gets taken down first and Ogwin too. Kyle was dealing with the wave down bottom, and now they have to clear the wave in mid, lest ONIC end it now.
No way. Okay, they should be able to clear this. They still have a wave, though.
There is still a wave, and Marco's here, waiting for staffs on AOT and Blazing Duet. ONIC are taking game number 2. Match point for the Sky Kings.
Back-to-back games of ONIC clipping the Falcons' wings. This was faster than the Game 1. I mean, I didn't think it would end there, but Falcons, it just seemed like they really couldn't.
As Team Falcons and ONIC go up for Game 3, is it going to be a sweep in our 3rd place match? Guys, that would be crazy, but I know some fans that would enjoy it. Let's send it over to Naisu and Leo.
Hey, I'm hoping it's not a sweep here. We got to get one on the board for Falcons. They need it, and their fans need it. I think they brought the draft here, though, Leo, to make that happen. I like what they brought to the table just because, again, there's some burst, there's some crowd control, and even the Marcel. I think this all pairs up really well against what ONIC brought to Game 3.
Not just that, the fact that they've basically over 3 games changed their identity. They let go of the glue, they let go of the Esmeralda. They're no longer living in the we will fight and die by this kind of rotation. There's a lot of re-engage here, especially to answer ONIC's own re-engage, especially with that Matilda in the hands of Keyboy. Early start here, a little bit of footsies between the mid duos from both sides, and then we eventually just return back the roamers protecting their junglers from getting their early buffs.
Taking a look at the emblems here, too. It's a little scary, as you mentioned, Keyboy, on this Matilda. Not only the mobility, but that focusing mark, the emblem there to go ahead and help. I mean, we already know the Eudora for Sans, like the burst potential there. Just yesterday, we saw Sunset Lover play it pretty much 5 games in a row. And, you pair it up with this, even the emblem interaction, there's a good amount of burst that comes through to almost solidify yourself a kill. So then you get the numbers advantage, and you can work around that, plus mobility. And I think that's what makes the Barretts even scarier here for Lutpi, just because, again, you already cover a lot of grounds with the flicker, but then now you have a Matilda. Like, that's great. But over on the flip side, with Falcons, I kind of forget about Sora, too. I have to be on the same wavelength here with Renmar. You kind of forget about him. But just as we saw it in the hands of Kid Bomba yesterday, you're reminded why he can be so deadly, especially when teams are kind of clumped up together.
And ONIC knows best exactly what a good Sora can do. Kyle backing off. They see that there's 3 members of ONIC pushing forth. Down bottom, though, who'd have thought that by bringing a pair of boxing gloves to a gunfight, you could get away with a lot. Kelra's bullying Marco. I doubt that Marco can even double wave as soon as this turtle dance or fight fully breaks out.
Yeah, right now, ONIC's got control of it. We'll see if Falcons is in a position to fight. Kyle's going to be spotted out here, though, by Keyboy. Can they go in?
That's the Shifting Skies, started up by Flap, but to no avail as ONIC secures the turtle. Down goes Flap. That Feather Airstrike may be a league too far out of the fight as ONIC barrels forward 1,000 gold up.
Good enough burst, it seemed like, to be the case, but what happened there with ONIC was just able to go ahead and zone out Falcons from the fight. And part of that was just Lutpi. I mean, on the Barretts alone, he just kind of separated the rest of Falcons from that, and they were able to go ahead and capitalize a kill on Flap when he tried to initiate things. And, honestly, that kind of choreography for these objective fights is kind of what I expect, unless somehow Falcons can figure out a different way to go through that. But that's what makes it really difficult. Again, playing around the potential to surprise them with having this Guinevere, with having Ogwyn on the Marcel. Now, the Golden Hour can help make that happen. Could slow down or kind of make things weird, the rhythm weird for ONIC's team fighting, but that first one was not it for Falcons.
To be fair, Ogwyn wasn't ready quite yet. And that means 3 out of the 4 possible ults that were laid down to help disrupt ONIC's form wasn't ready.
Yeah.
They were lacking one major resource. So going in the turtle number 2, spawning in the lower quarter, out in about 30 seconds and change should be a different story. But again, that is looking at ONIC. They still have all of their resources. That does walk into the wall, plus the Feather Airstrike, but it's Kyle who falls! And Lutpi walks away with it. Flap goes down too by Kyrie's blade. ONIC showing no quarter, as even Haji might fall, does not have the wings by wings! Kyrie! Bloodthirsty finds another.
Even before that Kyrie play, give it up to Lutpi, man, to be able to go ahead and respond that fast. Again, he saw that Kyle came through. Daytona's welcome, flicker defensively to get him closer to the team fight. As we look at the replay, this is what I was talking about. Boom, right there, sets things up. Sans also coming through to make sure that he got that stun off in time to make sure Lutpi survived. And then, of course, Kyrie cleaning things up under a tier 2 this early on. Man, it's not looking good in game 3.
Turtle number 2 is looking like a non-starter once more. Lutpi, Detna's welcome. Good amount of nothing he's chomped down, but that's just but a consolation prize for Falcons. They are in no shape to contest.
Biggest lead we've seen so far throughout these 3 games. ONIC's going to go ahead and stall it out a little bit so that Kyrie can go ahead and grab his buff. Again, already sitting at 3-0. This is the power spike already for Harara. It's going to be really difficult to play against, and that's why even your frontliners for Falcons are having such a hard time here, because even if they put themselves in this, I mean, look at that. You either get stunned, you get chomped. Oh, they are going to slow this down a little bit, but I mean, you buy an extra second or two with the golden hour, and turtle secured for ONIC.
They're delaying the inevitable. ONIC knows that they were going to get the turtle anyways, but I don't know if they saw that Marco was going to work the opposite lane. So that's at least a turret on the board for Falcons. They'll help keep this lead down to a palpable 3K, but Kelra will make quick work of that turret on the other side as well. So I'd say it's still just the free turtle that ONIC are riding on that puts him up at about 4,000 gold. They find one!
Ooh.
And saving himself, Keyboy with a circling eagle. ONIC refused to give anything over to Team Falcons.
Falcons was so close to at least getting one on the board, and then Keyboy is able to survive, man. That Purify, even if they popped it, he still had the shields to go ahead and keep him alive. Really good usage there. Now they're knocking on this tier 1. Oh, Kelra.
Better airstrike. Kelra coming in from the flank. Stop. Flickered in. Hadouken. Might take out Haji, but Haji does get the fly off even with the flicker from Lutpi, and the punish from Falcons is real. Ogwin punches him down. Golden hour will not save him from Sans though, as it turns into a 1-for-1.
All right, the 1-for-1 trade, at least Falcons is on the board, but man, again, you're seeing it. ONIC playing around the lead that they have, and you know, one of the difficult things here as you see these fights break out is just how kind of, oh, hold on, Flap, whoa, burns the flicker. Okay, Sans is gonna be okay. So at least a battle spell expended. But again, it's weaving into these fights. The thing that ONIC's lineup does so well, especially with Kelra or Kairi, is how much they can maneuver around these team fights or around these.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Was that a circling eagle leading up to Lutpi underneath tier 1, getting hit with a Requiem, and they get another. Keyboy falls, the punish from Falcons, getting 2 kills on Marco.
Yeah, did they just guiding wind to their death? I mean, ONIC tried to make it seemed like he wanted to make a play, and then they got punched in the face.
Yes, the only reason why it seems so unbelievable is it happened as we were swinging the camera over, and then it happened. So turtle number 3 might actually be Falcons' way to redemption. And it looks like ONIC are not going to contest, so they accept the folly of their fumble. Falcons on the board when it comes to neutrals.
Yeah, that's when you say, you know, that's my bad, that's my bad, right? But
MB, go again.
MB, go again. Falcons able to get the last turtle. They still have some ground to cover, though. They're down a bit, a few thousand gold up to this point, but they are starting to farm up, and a big part of that is going over to Super Marco.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
All right, wings by wings out. Marco, can we take a look at the items to see where Super Marco is? Again, okay, so he's got his 2 items. He's working on his 3rd. That golden staff is what he needs to get that Trinity locked in for this Claude. So he's done a really good job, despite how things have kind of fallen apart for the early game for Falcons. You know, your gold laner for Falcons is really what you're leaning towards. Obviously, Haji, too, only having the glowing 1. You can already see when he drops down a feathered airstrike, it's got some damage. So Falcons is waiting.
A little bit of a sting there. And he's down a full 1,000 gold up from Sans. So Falcons have to play this very precariously. A minute until Lord spawns lower quarter. Fortunately, the long lane is in control of Falcons, so that's what Marco's been working on. Shifting skies, but he gets answered by Ignition's welcome. Feathered airstrike 2, golden hour, compromising the rest of them. Requiem on a Suns, and Falcons get a kill. Now into the back line, circling eagle, knocking up Kyle. Kyle's not long for this world as Kairi scores. Killer knocks out Haji. The blazing the web fade away by Marco, pushing them back, but they're not done. Ogwin runs through, recalls back, fight's over.
Okay, fight's over. ONIC gets the upper hand in that one. Sans, unfortunately, had to deal with the spatial migration coming through from Kyle. Oh, Kelra with a couple punches. Checking Ogwin here. They're going to take down the tier 1 in mid. So ONIC reestablishing that lead that they had earlier on. You know, but Falcons, they're showing some fight here. They're showing some promise. They've just got to find the upper hand. Again, this Daytona's welcome, locking down Flap. Look at Kyle, he finds Sans. That's great, but then this fight kind of gets split up, you know, and they don't really have the room to work with here. Flap has to disengage from it. The blazing do it from Super Marco didn't get as much value as you'd hope for if you're Falcons. So it was just, again, having that upper hand in terms of itemization for ONIC, and now this Lord is up. So they've got control of it. Falcons here. Do they contest? Ogwin jumping forward to give some information. They will reset the Lord, though.
Flap holding this brush behind the Lord pit. He's going to get flushed out by Lutpi. Missile expert to throw him out there. And look at Kelra. Kelra is just doing God's work right now. The fact that he's threatening that long lane, all this while ONIC is also just threatening the dance, makes it so weird for Falcons. Like, what do they commit to? Sure, they have a BMI. Sure, they have the wings by wings, but those are massive resources they're going to need if they want to fight against ONIC, who's up by about 4,500 gold.
Oh, hold on.
Denna's welcome, throwing it over. Golden hour to delay the damage. Coming on a flap, and he goes for the shifting skies. Jumps through, and now in comes Kyle. Marco looking for the perfect blazing duet entry. And there's some wings by wings. The damage on Kyle is real despite the Requiem. Millionaire strike at point blank range. Kyrie finds the double, make it a triple. Marco with a defensive blazing duet, but he's the only survivor left, and ONIC wanna clean up house. Kyrie in the base. Can Marco do it? No! Kyrie finds him! The savage in the groups gets another, and I think we're close to calling it.
Oh, man. Ignore the lore. They've got waves pushing in here. They'll take what they want. It's Hunger Games right now. Look at the replay here by SDC. Again, this was a fight that was not in favor of Falcons from start to finish. And the team fighting here by ONIC, again, just able to kind of dissect the fight.
Lutpi denied the savage. I counted 5, but that's why it didn't come up, because the 4th went to Lutpi, and then Marco got cleaned up.
Well, you know, you can still take the Maniac, right? I mean,
and then the Savage from earlier in the tournament. But regardless, Falcons find themselves in an so familiar spot in this series. ONIC knocking down on their bases, waves coming in from all directions. Down being almost double digits. Again, this is an 8,000 gold lead. Eminent.
Yeah, and they got a Lord come up to that top side. Big item pickups here for ONIC too at this point. 12 minutes in. BOD for Kyrie. Divine Glaive for Sans. You know, again, it's just you've got these items locked in that you needed, and you're ready to go ahead and knock down some of these base turrets. So, Daytona's welcome.
And it's canceled by a golden hour. In comes the rest of them. Down goes Flap. Ogren barely gets away. Pops that Purify to buy time after the top lane inhibitor crashes. So Falcons are just staunching the bleeding here. Feather Dash Strike coming in from Haji, blasting away those waves. And they will save mid lane inhibitor. Top lane still in jeopardy. Bottom up next on the docket to defend. ONIC looking to control the amount of bodies that they put underneath
Kyrie's
that.
hitting the base.
And Kyrie's just looking to burst it down. Ogwen looking for the punish. And Kyrie survives.
Okay, I guess Kyrie's like, you know what, if you guys are going to deal with the defense, I might as well just go ahead and hit the crystal a little bit here. So he does some damage to it, but they maintain 2 base turrets. It looks like ONIC wants to go again, though, because Lutfi's got a Flicker and a Daytona's Welcome set up. He doesn't have many stacks. He's going to throw out the rockets here.
Eats up Ogwen. Answer with a Feathered Airstrike. That is a Shifting Skies lightning form by Flap. Lutfi put down 1/8 of his health. Keldra trying to do the same Kyrie was doing with the base, except on that lower inhibitor, does not find it. Falcons still keeping their eyes on the prize. At least we can say that the Philippines' last representative is just on point, keeping it on lockdown when it comes to the defense.
They hold it on, man. They have to. Again, even staring down this lead, this deficit that Falcons is against, almost 10,000. You know, they've only got a couple turrets that are down on the map to work with. They're nearly down to the last base turrets here. 2 stand for Falcons, and honestly, all these team fights have just been ONIC throughout. There's been a moment where you might be able to catch 1 or 2, but Falcons just doesn't have it just doesn't seem like they have the ability to win these team fights just yet, unless something goes really wrong here for ONIC. There's so much vision provided that ONIC can just kind of take into this, because you know, you have control across the jungle. Your Lord's coming up here in 15. I would be surprised if Falcons tries to contest it.
Realistically speaking, the best thing that Falcons can hope for is a pick-off of ONIC, but wait. They do force Ogwen here to back off. I think he held on to his Purify, so he is fine. I think ONIC are also looking for Falcons to slip up. They're looking for them to, you know, waste an ult here, waste a battle spell here, to confirm this Lord and to confirm the end. Denna's Welcome answered by a Requiem here. Wings by wings back. So a couple of ults spent already, as well as the Feathered Airstrike.
Those are big ults that are expended by Falcons. I don't think you want to be anywhere near this Lord.
Whoa, big knockup on Lutfi once again. He answers with Denna's Welcome. Golden Hour trying to save that one target. And there's a Shifting Skies pushing back and splitting up ONIC's attack. And they find Kelra, forced to back off. And now it's Lutfi up next. How has Falcons done this? He goes for the freeze, winner crown, feathered airstrike, and a big knockup by Kyle. Kelra falls. Straight up for Flap. Sans goes down as well. 2 for 1. Make it 3. Brrr, yeah, Marco. Chase it. Kyrie. And the wind of nature saves bulletproof Marco now inside the base. Kyrie wants to end it. He sees the base exposed to a couple minions.
Oh, he picks up immortality.
And now we go back to neutral. Ogwin looking to stop Kyrie from taking any more from Falcons. The ending tally 3 for 1, but the Lord is still inside Falcons base.
Okay, that was a fight that Falcons ends up getting under their belt. They got to deal with this Lord. It's going to be cleared out. Good thing for Hanji and Super Marco to be up there. Again, they're slowly but surely getting into a fighting position, but man, did that take some work. And also, some mistakes made by ONIC into that one. I mean, I guess they just, the golden hour threw them off. Even though the feathered airstrike came back off cooldown, that really helped Falcons. They got caught by Kyle's spatial migration, Requiem combo. So that'll keep ONIC in check.
Joseph, for the first time in about maybe 10 minutes,
yeah,
Kyle was able to taste the purple, and it was one he stole away from Kyrie. What's the most impressive out of this is the fact that no purifies were spent by Falcons. So that means they were in the right spot at the right time for their positioning to matter and for them to split ONIC up like that. If this happens once more, if this is replicated some way, somehow by Falcons in this Lord pit spawning in the upper quarter about a minute and change from now, then say goodbye to this lead. I think that puts us at deadlock.
Yeah, it might just do that, and that's why now ONIC, they need to be a little more cautious on how they approach these fights. Obviously, you can see Super Marco online now on the Claude. You know, the ability to hold on to these purifies are crucial for Falcons to flip this game over. They've done an amazing job holding on to the 2 base turrets, too, that they had to. Again, even seeing 2 Lords being secured by ONIC. They only lost that 1 base turret they maintain here. Now, they still have some time to go ahead and do something before this next Lord comes up, but that's why ONIC is just kind of playing the patient game.
Yep. ONIC are on Overwatch right now. You make the wrong move, get in range, in the wrong spot, and it's over. It's a pickoff, and then next thing you know, Falcons can't even contest, can't even leave their base. So they're sending bodies here to try and confirm a slow push on this tier 1 down bottom. ONIC knows this. ONIC knows this. It's just they don't want to risk it yet because it's so close. Oh, what is this? Ogwin. All right, he holds on to his Purify.
He did get the Thundering Wrath out here, so ultimate use, but again, that's short cooldown up to this point too. Sans will have that back up before they maybe commit to this Lord. A Guardian Helm picked up too by Kyrie again. You know, he hasn't died. He's very elusive. 10-0-2. Picked up the immortality earlier on the runaway, but now this Lord is up. Again, forget the gold lead that ONIC has. Falcons can fight this through. Kyle's going to jump forward, just checking out that bush. He sees Kyrie. So now it's fighting for the space around this Lord here.
Here we go. Some warning shots out of Marco on a Lutfi. Lutfi chunked down about a quarter of his health. Sets up.
Oh, Loopy.
Finds one. Answered by both. A feathered airstrike gets them both, but Kyle falls first. Golden hour. In comes the rest of them. Shifting Skies, but look at this from the side. Kelra and Marco dueling guns versus fists. And they are so close to taking down Flap. In comes Kyrie. Flap with the dash and back gets taken down. 2 out of the picture. For Falcons, ONIC can smell blood in the water.
They want to take down the base turrets now. Super Marco had to pop his Win of Nature with the pressure from Kelra onto that fight. So now backs against the wall. They want to stay in this game.
Feather Death Strike. Finally, mid lane inhibitor falls. Circling Eagle by Keyboy. Minutes away. Seconds, possibly from the end. And there's way too many minions. ONIC have delivered sweet revenge. This one's for M5. Sweeping Falcons.
Who would have thought it would have been?